Hello. Wow. I already have some people showing up. Hey, Kelly. Can you guys hear me okay? Hopefully. I have no headset because my headset isn't working on this computer, so I'm going headsetless today. And hello, Kathy and Stephanie. Thank you for coming. So today I have a special guest, and I'm going to bring on Leah Sparrow, who I've been talking to. She's helping me with a couple of things to improve my online teaching stuff. And so she's going to come on with me and we'll just chat about general stuff. So, all right. Hello.
We're going to talk about general stuff.
General stuff. Well, I'm like, you're teaching for VIP Kid, right?
Yeah, I teach for VIP Kid, OUTSCHOOL, and Q Kids, but mostly VIP Kid.
Mostly VIP Kid. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Hey, Meredith. Now, Meredith has COVID, so how are you doing, Meredith? Hopefully you're doing well. You guys like my glasses?
Aren't they pretty?
I make me look more studious. Amanda Panda gave me the idea. I'm like, I'm gonna.
Oh, Amanda Panda.
Yeah, she's like, one of her videos, one of the comments was, "How do you do that to your glasses? Like, how there's no glare
because there's no lens."
So, like, yeah, that's fun.
It's just a destroyed set of glasses.
Yeah. Well, these are from the dollar store, so that's nice.
No big deal.
Yeah. Hey, Luann. And Luann has some great videos about the Misfits box.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to check that out.
Did you teach this morning, Leah?
Huh?
Did you teach this morning?
No. And no. I'm doing priority bookings only because I'm working on a course for marketing. It's a Marketing 101 course for online teachers.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to teach my special babies that make life easy, because doing the course and them, I'm just not going to be able to provide I want it to be done right for the teachers, because it's something that they have obviously voiced that they are interested in. And I have been gaining clients, and I feel like what my methods have done will help teachers also gain students in any area that they would like to teach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's just a Marketing 101, quick little guide of how to get started and get your feet wet and start collecting students.
Okay, so would you suggest I don't know, for me, I don't really know if that would be for me or not, because I want to market
YouTube.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Okay, what I'm thinking of is marketing is I'm thinking of, I want to teach math online, and I want to get my own students. So, but I don't know if I want to go that route. I would want to market as far as, I teach for VIP Kid, I'll recruit for that. I teach for OUTSCHOOL, I'll recruit for that. I do your teachable moment. We need more customers for that. Definitely.
Yeah. So my suggestion has always been, because the fear is, what if I go into this and I don't make any money? Well, if you are eligible for OUTSCHOOL or Q Kids or VIP Kid, or that list goes on, then keep that. You know, that I did VIP Kid and Q Kids for 2+ years, and a little bit of Go Kid for 2+ years, and then realized that, and I'm still doing them. I shouldn't say did, but I'm still doing them. But now I'm kind of easing out of them because this business is starting to grow. So it's like what I talk about pivoting. It's not just, okay, now I'm going to go do this, because you need the income. We all need to eat. Right. So if you have a guaranteed income stream, you don't want to burn your bridge with it. So keep it. But maybe you can develop it in a different way. And yes, there's recruiting, and recruiting, if you handle it correctly, it's an honest job, and it has to do with helping teachers. And mine is always, I'm going to help you. I'm going to provide free consultation, and I'm always there for you. A lot of recruiters, they recruit and then it's like, oh, thanks for the money, bye. And that's how I get a lot of my customers. guess the recruiter just dropped them, disappeared off face of the
Oh,
planet.
right.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, oh, okay. So that's why I said I'm offering courses free, not courses, but little sessions like you and I did this morning, free through October 31st, because I feel like I want to build the trust, just like, you know, a lot of these others that are more well-known, they've built trust with everybody. You don't know me.
Yeah,
You know, and there's a lot of scammers out there.
I think Casey interviewed you. That was the first time that I'd seen
Yes, which Casey? I
your
know two
face.
Caseys.
Casey,
Casey Oswald or Casey Morrow?
but I know both
We
of them.
talk
Casey
daily.
and Morrow and Casey Oswald, yeah.
Yeah, those are my girls. We have a little group, and they're part of my group. But we call it Crazy Women and One Guy. Poor online teacher, dude.
Awesome. Okay.
He wakes
All
up
right.
with crazy stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah.
So,
yeah, I followed his videos from a long time ago.
Well, when he said I need a group to talk with because we're all doing a course together, I was like, oh yes, you're coming with us. So when he jumped in, everybody's like, welcome to our cult.
You are in for it now.
You're in for you. Caution.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So what would you suggest? Okay, so for like somebody like me, like I do want to do YouTube, but I definitely noticed like I started YouTube a long time before, well, not a long time, but a little bit before the Nancy Taylor course. And some people started a YouTube channel with Nancy Taylor's course and they have gotten like double to triple my views. And
yeah, I started a YouTube channel. You have 300 subscribers. I have 290 right now. And I'll tell you why mine has not doubled and tripled like the rest of them have. Some of them did have a channel well before they started Nancy. Some of them started a channel just like I did. I started a channel when I started with Nancy. But what also happened is I had to back off of YouTube. And when you back off of YouTube, as you probably know, your views just kind of, if people stop paying attention to you because YouTube doesn't put you out there. So you do have to be consistent with your postings. But I had to back off for a while because I was building a house and I had to close on it. So you know, life happens, and I hadn't learned how to do batch recording and have the channel just running on its own for a while. And so I've learned a little bit because of that experience. And since I'm back on, I was just over 200 when I jumped back on, and I've been back on for just about a month and a half of really consistently. I mean, you've figured out I'm doing live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So now I'm jumped up to 290. So when you do that, yes, and using the strategies and the marketing and things like that Nancy teaches, as well as some other courses that I've taken. Nancy was like the catalyst for me to just take more courses because it was like, oh, this really does work when you're taking it from the right person. Yeah,
Nancy did come to one of my lives before. This was before her course because I had been like messaging her like email, and that was like my highest level.
That's when you go,
yeah.
Oh, I'm so girl fanning right now. Yeah.
So I was like, Nancy, do you have any questions for me?
And see, and now that I know her, she genuinely is a people pleaser. She's probably one of the most kindest people I've ever come across because she really, really has an investment in each and every one of us in our group. And she comments. I mean, I'm like, wow, woman, you've got so much going on, but you find the time to talk to each and every one of us in our little, group for her course. After the course, you belong to a Facebook group. And then after the course, you have the option to join a membership as well. And that membership is absolutely amazing. You get involved with some people that are nothing but idea thinkers and growers, and then you find out about more courses or more resources to help you build. And it really is amazing. And I do wish I didn't have a house to build and close on, but because I'd probably be, somewhere around 400, 500 subscribers by now. But, life happens and you learn how to deal with that sort of thing.
Yeah. And that's why we're doing this, because we have a life.
Yeah. There's a life outside of online teaching.
I mean, thank you, Mindy. Thumbs up.
Mindy.
Yeah.
I've had Mindy on my channel before. I've seen
Yeah,
Mindy on
Mindy's
Casey
awesome.
Oswald's
She's
channel.
actually moving.
She's everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Casey. We have Casey, Kelly, Evelyn. We all started.
Oh, I love
Like
it.
we helped Casey from the very beginning. So
Casey's done amazing things.
Starters. Thank you, Kelly, for coming. So let's see. Let me ask you. Well, I noticed on your videos, you have a lot of tech help, like for tech.
That is a series that I did because there was a lot of, why is this happening in my classroom? And I do have an IT guy who's retired Marine, and he's just doing it on the side. And he tries to talk our speech, which is, we don't know anything about this,
Right.
but he still gets a little bit over your head. But at the same time, his advice is pretty solid. And I do have a teacher tech camp guide that helps for online teachers setting up their classroom, which kind of breaks it down a little bit more into, me speak. Because I listen to it and I'm like, what?
Well, I think that's my job, is that, like, I wouldn't have done it if I had thought that you needed major stuff. The thing that got me going was, all you need is, the simple little setup and your computer and a couple little props and
a little backup, and you're good.
Yeah. So if I had thought that it was, like, I've made it more involved, like I've added more to it, but to really,
well, it's also what you do with your online teaching business. If you just want to teach the classes with the companies, then you just need a basic little laptop or a desktop. Bye, Kelly. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. So anyway, I'm sorry she has to go.
Yeah.
But if you have something like a laptop, does work well, but you do have to watch the memory storage and the processing power. Those are the two things that can affect, just like we were talking about this morning. So i5 is what's the bottom. So, if you go a step up, then your computer may last for a longer time. But if you're somebody like me and you that wants to do the videos on YouTube, you have to save your videos. That takes up space. So the basic rule of thumb is, if you've got more than 50% of your memory taken up on your computer, that processor has to work harder. And Mindy and I were talking about it this morning, where her computer and I experienced the same thing. I can't do it. So right. I taught for 2+ years, started doing YouTube, and the same thing happened with my MacBook Air. It was like, oh my God. And the fan started coming on. It was getting upset. So I got an external hard drive. I did get a new desktop, which I told Mindy, you don't have to go that. Let's just try out getting an external hard drive. And I took everything off of that little computer and put it onto the external hard drive. And external hard drives do not cost a lot at all. And I have a big external hard drive, and it's less than $100. And probably nobody really needs as big a hard drive as I got, but they last for a long time. So I was like, well, if they last for a long time, then let's just get a big one. Yeah. But some of them are portable, so you can travel with them. I mean, they're like the size of your phone, and so you can travel with them, and they can hold a terabyte or 2 terabytes even.
Wow.
So when I did that with the external hard drive on my laptop, now it's quit. The fan has stopped turning on. It's quit going, oh my God. So, and now I can teach on it. It is my backup, but it's also
what is your laptop? What type of computer?
It's a MacBook. I don't have it sitting right here in front of me because I'm using it to do something else. But it's a MacBook Air.
Okay.
I mean, it's not the MacBook Pro, which actually MacBook Pro probably is better to go with because it has better processing power, and it's a little bit closer to a desktop. MacBook Pro is closer to a desktop than any other laptop in the Mac's realm. So I got the MacBook Air.
Has a Mac. I don't know if any of these other people have Macs or not. I know teacher Danny has a Mac. But see, I do a lot with the iPad, and then I also, one of my things is I like to hook up my iPad to my computer, and I use it through CamTwist, which I don't have it set up right now to do that. But so I can do like my rewards in a box on my classroom. So instead of holding it up to my holding my phone up or something like that.
Oh no, Mindy, I've seen you around. I may have seen you on Casey Oswald's channel. You've commented, but you haven't been on my channel. You haven't been on my channel.
You haven't been on her channel.
And I've talked to Cindy this morning. I talked to Cindy this morning. We all get up early and can't think.
Mindy, yeah.
So Luann has a Lenovo. I don't know how to Lenovo, but she loves it. So when I say i5, that's anybody. You know, the i5 is the lowest that they tell you to get, and you can do well with an i5. The i5 also, after reading about the i5, it does depend on how it's made up, because an i5 can be quite powerful. But it does depend on how it's made, because there's different types of i5s. So it's just wow. So you just have to you just have to do your research on those i5.
It's really hard because you go to the store and like my husband got this HP and I'm like, it's brand new, you know, and I'll stick the Filmora on it and I'll be great to do some videos. And then I couldn't do certain things. I went to the Filmora Facebook group and I'm like, what's going on? Why can't I do this? And so then they asked me the specs for my computer. So I looked them up and they're like, that thing's a piece of junk. You need such and such. And I'm like, so I bought a $50 program and now I need a $1,000 computer. They're like, yep.
Yep, that's how it works.
Forget the Filmora.
So Mindy says she was in Nancy Taylor's class. I do remember that you are.
Oh, okay.
I just see Mindy everywhere.
Yeah, awesome.
I know Mindy's everywhere. So yeah, I lose track of where I've seen her, but mostly in comments. So yeah, probably in Nancy Taylor's Facebook groups, but you know, that sort of thing.
And she also has a three-legged dog.
I haven't personally talked to her. I know that.
Yeah, I've used her video. She has a video of her dog that had an accident, and so now it's a we call it a tripod dog.
Oh, the tripod dogs.
Yeah,
tripod dogs are awesome.
I've used her video on my OUTSCHOOL class because I have an OUTSCHOOL pet sharing class. Just like I want to do the pet sharing for the teachers, I'm doing the OUTSCHOOL one too. So yeah. So what are you teaching for OUTSCHOOL?
Horses.
Okay.
And they want me to, and I've kind of stopped doing the OUTSCHOOL because, like I said, I'm developing a course. So VIP Kids my go-to, Q Kids is my filler.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm doing priority bookings only with VIP Kid, and because I can't handle the 10 back-to-back and do everything else that I'm doing. I mean, the 10 back-to-back was killing me when I wasn't doing everything else.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing priority bookings only. So I'm picking and choosing who I want to teach. And they won't leave me alone. But they
oh, really? They're requesting it?
Oh, it's like, oh, guys, I don't, and it's becoming back to back again. So I'm like, okay. And it's really hard for me to say no to my babies, but I'm going to have to, because I really want this course to help teachers and I want to do it right. So I just don't see how I can do that and teach at 4 o'clock in the morning until 9 and be able to really put my mind into this course and do it well. But I do horses on OUTSCHOOL, and what they want me to do, and one of the main reasons why I stopped, and I can always go back to OUTSCHOOL. That's what's great about OUTSCHOOL, is because you go back and it's not like it really affects you. Because it is, OUTSCHOOL is a freelance teaching platform.
It's flexible.
It is a freelance teaching platform because they just provide a platform, and they take 30% to market for you and the platform. So it's not like they don't provide any of the curriculum. They don't, do any of that. So you're on your own for your end of your business, and you decide how much you're paid and everything. But you can market some for yourself too, but you don't have your own platform, your own little area. So that's just one big chunk taken out of your, list of things you have to do. So if you're comfortable with that, then it's a great platform, but if you want to do it all, then it's not the platform. So it just depends on what you want to do.
Basically, you could do the same thing for OUTSCHOOL on your own. You can find your own customers.
Yeah, you can find your own customers if you learn how to do the correct marketing strategies, and that's what my course will be on, and a good platform, which Zoom is a good platform. You would have your own Zoom at that point instead of OUTSCHOOL's Zoom, and then there are other types of platforms that you can use as well, because it's always good to have a backup.
Right.
Because Zoom, I have had Zoom do, I'm not working today. And people have had issues with Zoom throughout school.
Okay.
So, that's where you don't have control. You can't say, okay, well, I'm having problems with Zoom. Let me send you a link to another platform that I use so we can get this class done today. Or just go ahead and provide backup link before you have a class with your student. In the case of blah, 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 let's use this, and that way you're showing your customer that you're always prepared. You've got a backup. You are going to make sure that they get their class that day. I mean, of course, there's always those circumstances where it's like, well, we can't do anything about that. But, you're trying your best to provide a solid platform for your student. And I plan on going into a more in-depth, but my first course is just basically getting your feet wet with marketing and obtaining your students, getting attention from your students. So that's my first course.
Yeah.
To do it that way.
That sounds great. So are you going to plan on doing courses outside of Vipkid and
that's what I'm talking about. My marketing 101 courses for teachers.
Have you done it yet?
Huh?
Have you done it yet? Have you done it?
I'm working on it right now. I'm in the beginnings of it, trying to figure out how to get it so that it doesn't overwhelm you. Huh?
Are you doing horses?
I'm doing horses on, I'm doing horses on OUTSCHOOL.
Yeah, but what are you going to teach in your freelance teaching program?
In my marketing 101 for teachers, I'm teaching how to market to gain students.
Okay, so that's your course, and you're going to teach that.
Yeah.
You're not going to try to teach kids some other.
No, I'm teaching teachers how to find kids.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Because I've learned that I have gained, even though I haven't been on YouTube as much as I'd like, I've gained clients accidentally through the ways that I market. And I did have a mother contact me from France who wanted me to teach her child. That's, I told her, I said, at the time, I said, oh, well, I'm not really ready, but I'll be happy to, start and I'll just what we call drip feed the content to your child, and I will custom make my curriculum. Well, now, there's ESL curriculum for kids. If you want to do ESL, I know some teachers who help you with curriculum development. So there's starting to be more and more resources available for teachers who want to go freelance. So the first thing that you have to do that's kind of scary is you have to learn how to market for your student and know where your student is. So when you're marketing for children, you're really marketing to the parent. Right. So you got to find those parents that are looking for tutors online. I mean, that's what they call themselves, are tutors. So the parent is going to be looking for a tutor where you're an online teacher. So that gives you even more authority than a tutor, because in our mind, a tutor is someone who just kind of does it as a side job. They have experience, but we're actual teachers with certifications most of the time. Or someone who has been an online teacher for quite a long time, may have a different background, but they're an online teacher. And it's a completely different concept to be an online teacher. When you have that experience as an online teacher, you are really an expert in your field. Because regardless of whether you're an actual B&M teacher or not, because online teacher is so much different. It's very different from someone inside the classroom. You have to have a certain set of skills, because you can't, come up and go, hey, pay attention to me. Your student's usually miles and miles away, thousands of miles away, that sort of thing. So I'm learning from, Mindy just asked this, I'm learning from Amy Porterfield how to develop a course on marketing for teachers. she does digital courses. So Amanda Panda's doing a course. She's learning how to develop a course for me.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so we're all learning how to do a course that's specific to our niche.
I went into that group on Facebook, but I'm like, I don't even know what I would make a course about. That was the first thing.
It took me a little while to figure out what I wanted to do.
I have no idea. I guess I don't want to make a course because I have no idea.
Well, see, I found out through Nancy's class what it was that I could do, because I thought that recruiting was the way I was going to go. But then as I went through the course, like I told you this morning, people were coming to me. How do I brand? Help me brand. Help me figure out my brand, and help me figure out video editing. And, Loretta, Casey Oswald, they all sat in on my sessions on video editing and creating with Canva. And now they've taken off with it and they're just like the bomb, and I was slowed down, like I said, because of the moving and everything. But I didn't realize it at the time, but when I sat down and I was like, well, what course topic do I want to do? And I started seeing the change for teachers wanting to be independent teachers, wanting to be freelance teachers, just have your own platform. But the fear was, how do I get students?
Yeah, exactly.
And I have a lot of people who come to me who can't work for OUTSCHOOL VIPKQ kids because they're outside of the country that they need to be in, or they're not a native speaker, or, whatever other variable that is that just completely knocks them out. So I have been gaining students that are teachers through the methods that I use from all over the world. And I know that these same methods will work for students because, children, because I've gotten parents contacting me for teaching their child because they're desperate. She said, the one from France that sent me an email, she said, I know 2,000 parents that are looking for a teacher and they don't know where to find them. And it's because teachers don't know how to market themselves to the students.
So how much effort and work? Yeah. How much work is that? Because I think a lot of us like to go to OUTSCHOOL, make your little course, and just wait.
See, the problem with OUTSCHOOL is and I love OUTSCHOOL, but there's always pros and cons to everything.
Yeah.
And there is another platform called Preply that does not take 30%, and they're an online freelance company. It's either Preply or Preply. I mean, I see various different ways to pronounce that, but it's Preply, and I did a comparison between them and Spitball, and Spitball, I'm not sure, it hasn't been made official, but maybe going to the wayside because they're very small.
I signed up for that,
but I didn't. And then they were hit with a lot of teachers, and I don't think they can keep up because they were so small when they got hit. Okay. So that's one that it doesn't cost you anything to sit there until you start making a certain amount, and then they charge 10% for you to be there. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just to have the platform. I mean, that is pure freelance teaching. But I've looked into other ways to have a platform for teachers and to be able to schedule your students and that sort of thing.
So Leah has what it takes to teach.
Well, my marketing 101 is just helping you, because I don't want to overwhelm you. My marketing 101 course is just helping you get started with it.
How does this course work? Is it like, how many lessons in this course?
Well, I haven't right now. I'm just trying to figure out, I figured out exactly what I want to teach through the feedback, and I haven't gotten, because the naming portfolios, right now we're just naming it and pricing it, and now we're going to start making it. So I haven't gotten to the point where I'm going to start making it yet, but it's not going to be a long course, maybe a month-long course, where it just gives you some marketing strategies. First, you find out and figure out who you are and what your brand is and what you want to teach. Then you define your student. You're going to define who they are. You're going to find your student, and then you start learning the keywords and the strategies that you need to target those students, because I target teachers, and I have teachers finding me from all over the world. So I know that my strategy works. I know that it works because I have people finding me to learn what I teach. So I know it can work for you, because regardless of whether it's not the child that you're targeting, it's the parent.
Right.
So the parents looking for somebody that maybe teaches math and they need help with math, or maybe I have one teacher who's talking about teaching art. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's your
I'm actually
passion.
taking a course right now that is online painting. I did a painting last couple weeks ago, and I decided to join her group and learn how to do this. And you can't take her paintings and do them online like she
Right.
does, but you can take them and do like in-person paint nights and stuff. But for me, it was just like therapy. Like I just want to paint. But I'm really impressed with how she does it. Like I got on the first painting, which was only $10, and she had 900 people on that Facebook page painting this painting.
Yeah.
900. Plus she had another 900 that signed up that will do it later. So she has thousands of people.
Yeah, so she's marketed herself, but she's gone. That's why a lot of them that I've come across, they have some students that they have face to face, but they'd like to open it up.
Yeah.
So
she does like a
a
monthly fee. Like you can be in her group for a monthly fee, and you can do these one-time things for a one-time fee, which is really cheap. But she's got all these students. But she's like,
so you know the basic. I mean, you know, Taylor does the same thing. She has a Facebook group. You belong to a membership. She has a course that you can take. We all know the basic, but
how do you do it?
How do you find the people to come take the course from me? So that's something.
I want friends. Like it's only $10 to be my friend.
$10 to be my friend. Really?
No, better than that, right?
Cindy.
You won't pay $10 a month to be my friend, huh?
I'll just be your friend. How about that?
Oh, so funny. Yeah, I really, you know, Nancy is someone who she has put a lot out there, like for free, you know, and I think every VIP Kid teacher knows and has benefited from her videos.
Oh,
so when you pay her a little bit for extra, you realize
she pulls back the curtains, and that's what I plan to do. There are things that you don't. It's not like you're hiding it, but it's something that you do that perhaps maybe video content would not necessarily be the greatest because you're going to confuse somebody with it. And it's easier if you do something that is in a course where you can have that one-on-one with the person to explain it and walk them through it. You know, right then and there is the real time. And Mindy is 1 year with VIP. Or 8 days away from it. Yay, Mindy!
Yay, Mindy! Now, this is what I like about OUTSCHOOL, StreamYard.
I know, I love StreamYard. I have got to get me some StreamYard.
Yeah, I saw this on Online Teacher Dudes, and he said it was free, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Well, he did get the upgraded one.
Yeah, that way you don't have the powered by StreamYard going on.
Yeah. Exactly. But he's definitely upped his game a little bit. Like his last one, the live on Monday, was his intro was a little over the top.
Well, this is the second time he's introduced that intro, and it's like, wow, Tim, what you doing?
Like, I'm really moving up there.
You just turned into, you know, like TV style. You're playing a lot.
You don't. He's swinging single, right? So he doesn't have to manage all this extra stuff.
He's very sweet. He's a very, very sweet and very humble human being. So, I mean, I'm like, he contacted me because we're doing the course together with Amy Porterfield, and he started talking with me because we have kind of similar ideas with marketing and helping teachers market. And he's like, he contacted me, and I'm just, you know, fangirl again. Oh my God, he contacting me!
Yeah, that's great.
But then I get to know him, and I'm like, oh, he's so kind. He's such a helping person.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, you kind of, when you're that kind of person, you attract those kind of people, and that's what I like to see. There are some people out there that I've seen that are just not, they're negative, and it's like, why. But
Yeah.
that's the other thing you have to watch out for when you start marketing as an online teacher is you will get some trolls. And I'll just tell you, just so you know, when you get your first hater, that means you're starting to make a way.
Yeah. I haven't gotten any haters yet, though. So
I've gotten a couple
I'm
of
not
them
there yet. I've
on
had
Facebook
people
because I
that
do more
say,
of my marketing
"I
on
love
Facebook.
you," heart, heart, heart.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that on YouTube, but Facebook is where I kind of, I troll, but not
Okay.
really troll in a negative way. But I go and I look for my students and I talk to my students on Facebook,
Okay.
and that's one of the ways that you can find a student is to get in there and find their groups and just live with them, find out about them, get to know them. What are their habits? What do they want to do? And that's how I've found a few of them because invariably a question is going to pop up where I can help them.
Yep.
And then I'm like, oh, I can help you with that. You tell me more. And then they start getting interested and then they start following me and then they start realizing what I do. So, yeah.
Yeah, like me. Because I've been looking at I want to upgrade my computer, but, I'm sort of hesitant just because of the money aspect. I'm not.
And then we had a little brainstorm on that and decided, hey, why don't we go a little bit cheaper and just do some external hard drive and see if that fixes the problem.
Yeah. But I still do want the big screen.
I know. It's like, I love my big screen. I had the little tiny 13-inch and it's like, and now I have the big screen.
I do love the 13-inch, but I'm like, if I get a new computer, I'll still have the old one. It's like, I'm like that. I don't like to get rid of things that I've used a lot of, I want something new, but I also like the old one. But like for me, I have the 13-inch and I wanted to do Google Slides on it. And I watched the videos over and over and over, and I couldn't figure out how to put everything on the computer. And then I watched one of the teachers, Teacher Joel. He had like how you could overlap the windows and the light went on. But then I figured out how I can attach my iPad to my computer. So I learned that from the Stars to Apples group. And once I figured that out, I was like,
there's so much information out there. And that's why we're doing courses. Amanda Panda, Casey Oswald's doing one. A lot of us are doing doing a course specific to our niche. And just because somebody else is doing a course doesn't mean, like online teachers doing a course that's similar to mine. He's just taking a little different angle to it. It doesn't mean that it's not, something that you can't do. If more people are doing it, that means there's a need for it.
Right.
So, it's just like, oh, well, there's a lot of math teachers out there, so I don't have a chance. Well, no, not necessarily. Yeah. That's where you have to niche down maybe. Many teachers have found a lot of success with just niching down. There's online teachers. Amanda Panda's Mannycam. There's online teachers that are just, here's my specific thing. I'm doing marketing for online freelance teachers, and mine is more social media based. So
that's another question. Do you use Mannycam?
No.
Mannycam
at one point in time does not mesh well with Mac.
And that's what I think.
But they are and have already released some patches to help fix that problem. They're quite aware that that's an issue. So they are working on it. So it may now work with Mac because they've been developing the software so that it can mesh with Mac.
So do you use digital rewards? Oh, okay. So
I just do it old style.
A lot of people do, but I love like Stars to Apples. I've been using that.
I like Stars to Apples. Stars to Apples is great.
You can use it on your phone. The only problem I have with that one right now is that sometimes the downloading the rewards is a little tricky. I don't know if they have some glitches in there or something.
Well, it could just be because they're, messing with it or whatever. Or,
just really like for this one, you can do like a cell phone and you can put your little
emojis.
And this is great. Like say you're traveling and you don't have you don't want to bring a lot of rewards. You can actually get by with just using.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I like stars to apples, because when I moved to build my home, it took a year before I could move into my home. It didn't take a year to build. I moved, and then they just hadn't started. They hadn't gotten, the plans set for the entire neighborhood is what they were building. So first they had to do the road and all that mess.
Wow.
So anyway, and they didn't start until the beginning of this year, but I moved last July. So during that time, I was basically like a nomad digital traveler. So I had my little iPad and I had my laptop set up on a TV tray.
Yeah, see?
With boxes, and just raised it up high enough so it would be like this in front of me. And I had my accordion folder, which is not readily available, but I always talk about my accordion folder. And I was teaching 10 back to back from a little tiny 700 square foot apartment. And I was sitting in a little armchair on top of a TV tray with a little material backdrop behind me, and that was it. And I was still getting 10 back to back, and I was using my little laptop, and doing just fine. So my big thing is, how can I do it without spending a ton of money?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's why I suggested to you about going with the external hard
And
drive.
that's the thing. When I want to get the computer, I'm like, I don't want to work, all these classes just for a computer. That's not why I got this job. But on the other hand, I'm sure if once I got a new computer, I'd love it and I'd use it for a lot of other things as well.
Yeah, but you're right. Going digital is fine. But I have noticed, like these back here behind me, I haven't paid for one of any of those. For some reason, people found it necessary to give me those. But even that giant apple back there.
I paid $10 for this.
Yeah, I go to the dollar store. I go to Hobby Lobby. From Hobby Lobby, I bought a really big, I started out with just a whiteboard behind me, and I put, props on it and used it to decorate. So it was magnetic. And that whiteboard was $20. Yeah. And it's a big whiteboard that I hung up on the wall. And it was Hobby Lobby, because if you go on Hobby Lobby, you can find a coupon for Hobby Lobby. And then if it's on sale, you can still add the coupon. So it's like, drops from 70 to 20 in a heartbeat. Yeah. So, I am all about not spending a ton of money. Yeah. But I told you this morning, I did drop quite a chunk on a computer, but that's because I'm moving into developing courses for teachers and teaching teachers online. So I really want to have something that can last a while. And I do believe when you have the money and you're going to be doing something that's going to be a little bit higher level, then yes, put the money in the equipment. But your apps, like you asked me about going to Final Cut Pro, I said iMovie will do the same thing for what you want to do. I mean, you've got StreamYard, so that adds so much to your video content anyway.
Well, the free version, there's a lot of stuff the free version doesn't do, but there is.
I know.
It does.
But still, it does. I mean, it's,
it gets you on YouTube. And the thing is, I paid for the Zoom. I paid for the paid version of Zoom just so I could go on YouTube.
And that's not that much.
But with StreamYard, you don't really need that.
Right.
You go on without.
The only reason why you would need the paid version for Zoom is if you're teaching students.
Yeah. Can you go on YouTube with Zoom on the free version? I think you can go on YouTube, but you can't have.
But Zoom will kick you out if you go over so long or have so many.
But I think you can't do interviews if you want to go on YouTube with Zoom. I think that's the thing. I had to pay.
I know that Zoom will kick you out if you go over, I think it's an hour. And because I have the paid version, so I've forgotten about all of that. But and you can't have over 100, maybe it may be less than that. It's so many people in there with you.
Yeah. I think it's up to quite a few though.
It is up to quite a few. But if you want to go on a big level, like I do with teaching teachers, you're going to, need something, and I'm going to be on for longer than an hour. Then I need something that I can, but it doesn't cost a lot to upgrade with Zoom.
Yeah, it's not too much. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. And
Well, thank you for inviting me this morning.
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
really
I love
fun.
what you're doing with your channel. You're doing quite well with it. How long have you been on YouTube?
I've been on YouTube. I don't know. Well, my original ones were just family stuff, but
Right.
with VIP Kid, it's been. I didn't even think of being a YouTuber, but I just kind of wanted to document my journey with VIP Kid.
That's the way a lot of them started.
Being professional or anything. I was just like, I just want to document this because I know this is really bad, but I can only get better. So my first ones are hilarious.
Well, do you know Sean Cannell, Think Media?
Yeah, I've seen his
Okay.
video.
He showed his first video.
Oh, really?
And his motto is start messy. And he's sitting on the top step of wherever he is with a hoodie on, barely any lighting. He's like, I know this isn't great, but I'm just going to do this and I don't care. So I'm going to talk to you about something. Man, that's awful. But look at him now. I mean,
he's awesome. Yeah. So that's the thing. I didn't look at anybody. I watched some videos, but I didn't say, I'm going to do this, this, and this. I just turned it on and made a video. And it was basically just I just started and I really like it, that kind of thing. So yeah, not that I've made huge improvements, but I've definitely learned a lot.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like even the big ones, the Sunny Lenarduzzi and Vanessa Lau, they tell you can do it with your iPhone and be fine.
Yeah.
Don't get into all the equipment right away. Just do it.
Yeah, my iPhone has a really good camera, and I can edit better. I was trying to do a Zoom video and then edit it, but that's where my computer wasn't working for me either, because it was just getting hung up. It wouldn't do everything I needed it to do.
Yeah.
So so I've had some I think that's why my computer is holding me back a little bit, because of things I can't do. I start out to do it and I realize I can't get that done that way.
Right. That's what I realized about my little MacBook Air. I was like, well, I'm going to have to upgrade. Now, upgraded in a big way, but I also know where I want to go. So that's why I told you that, if you're just doing the videos and things, let's see what happens by freeing up the memory.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Even if I do get another computer, it would make.
You're going to use the external hard drive anyway, and you said your husband has one, so you can do that.
Yeah, he has one. He puts little teeny things on it. He's not even doing much at all with the computer. So
yeah, and external hard drives last way longer than the computer.
Right.
So they really help out with your processing power and your memory. They really do.
That's awesome. I just got to find out how much memory he has on it. Well, this is cool. Yeah, and I want to have you on again to show your pets. We were going to do that on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, I know. I was going to do that, and then I was like, "Oh, I missed it."
Yeah, I had to completely
I'm so sorry.
shut it down because something came up at the last minute, so I didn't even get to go on myself.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah,
no, that's okay.
Life of an online teacher.
Yeah, I had some family stuff come up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, right at the last minute. So.
Yeah, I do. I have quite a few pets. I'm surprised they're not here now, but because usually in one of my videos I'm talking and going along. It's a pre-recorded video, and all of a sudden you'll see this thing that says "Magic Dog" because she wasn't there, and then suddenly she's there.
Yeah, so many teachers have animals, and I just think it's really cool because they'll even online teacher dude, his cat will walk by and then he'll be like, oh, I'm sorry about my cat. And I'm like, just show your cat. It's fun.
But it's like Luann said, she said her son's a photographer. He doesn't save anything on his computer. He does pictures and videos. Everything's on an external hard drive. So, that could be your answer.
Yeah.
They take up a ton of space. And if you're an online teacher, you do screenshots.
Oh, yeah.
And that takes up memory eventually.
Absolutely. I have 6,000 pictures on my computer.
You could delete some of those.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to work on that.
Now.
I'm going to work on
I tell myself that every day, but it's like, oh, there's so many of them.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you for all of you who came in the chat. And thank you so much for everyone who watched this video later. And if you have any questions for either one of us, Leah, I'll post your, what do you want me to post? Your website?
Where are you?
Down below. After this video is over, I'll post your website down below or your email.
Teacherleah.com.
Okay, that's easy. Teacherleah.com, and it's purple.
I was surprised. I was surprised it was available on GoDaddy. I was like, "Are you kidding me? I'm taking it now."
That's awesome. All right, thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.